are back. This is our 1,000th pilot attempt. Hi, welcome to This Is Not a Solicitation. I'm Rebecca.
I'm Catherine.
And we are really excited to have you guys here today. I'm not joking when I say we've tried to record this pilot episode that many times because it's that important that it looks good, sounds good, and all of the things. So we've got our equipment, we're set up, and we're ready to go. And I am going to try so hard to talk slow today. And so is Catherine, because not only we are excited, we talk quickly. So we're realtors. We're licensed in the Carolinas. We both live in Greenville, South Carolina, and we are really passionate about what we do. Something that we want to get across right from the beginning is basically, why are we here? Not a solicitation. You said it really well. Why are we not a solicitation?
We're not a solicitation. That's the name of this podcast, because this is expressly not a podcast that you and I have designed in the pursuit of business. The reason that we want still to have a platform is why, Rebecca?
Because we genuinely feel that the real estate industry as a whole has a, honestly, pretty bad reputation. We just feel like the perception of realtors is kind of like scummy, like salesperson, which yes, we're in sales, but just high school dropout, someone who doesn't really do much and care much about anything, so they just went into real estate. So that is the opposite of what you will find with us, and we are really confident in our ability to articulate that to not only agents but to the public as well. And we genuinely feel that it's on us as realtors to show people that that's not what we do and that's not what this is about. And we want all agents to deliver a high level of service. Love that you said that before. A high level of client service.
Because just to piggyback off of you, if you're thinking to yourself, hey, I'm a consumer and honestly, I don't have a great perception of a real estate agent, I don't blame you. We want to be really clear that we're not here to shame you and make you feel bad. Because what that means is that there's a realtor somewhere in your life that lost your trust, probably did you wrong. So many realtors that I know have gotten into real estate from having a bad experience themselves in a personal transaction. And for that reason, we'll say a lot of the reputation that realtors have is earned.
Yes.
So we are working so hard to make sure that our clients and our circle are very well aware of the caliber that should be expected, frankly, from a realtor.
Yeah.
And if you're an agent who maybe takes in something that we talk about and apply it to your business, then mission success.
Yeah.
Because this is not just about us. Again, this isn't about our business in the sense that we're not lead generating with this podcast.
Right.
We want to have an open, honest discussion about what we're seeing in our market center, bringing in voices that maybe are outside of our scope as to what they're seeing as well, still in real estate. And
for sure.
I just hijacked your point, but yeah.
No, you did a great job. You did. That was wonderful. And all of those things. So it's very important to us. We're passionate about it. We've been working on this for a while now, probably about 6 months. And that doesn't sound like long, but God, it is long to two people like us, I'll tell you what. So we are really happy to be here in front of the camera today, finally getting this out to the public and kind of talking about who we are and what not a solicitation is all about. So why should you listen to us and why are we qualified to give you any of this information? Catherine, tell them a little bit about you first.
Okay, well, my name is Catherine Cromie. Like you said, I live in Greenville, South Carolina. I moved here thanks to Rebecca, having lived here a little bit longer. Let's go. I love living in the upstate. It's really beautiful, but I actually spent most of my time in North Carolina. So I moved from Ireland when I was 13. Woohoo. I lived in Winston-Salem, which is where my family still lives. I went to live in the Chapel Hill, Raleigh area for many years, go Heels, and then Charlotte. I got into real estate when I was in my chapter in Raleigh. We ended up working for the same company, but never at the same time working in the same location, so we became friends.
Virtual BFFs.
Virtual BFFs.
We hang out
long
once
distance.
in a while.
Exactly, long distance friends. I love being a realtor. I also have a dog who I spend a lot of my time with. Her name is Ginny. Ginny and I have been traveling the Carolinas the last little bit. I love my houseplants. What else do I like to do? I love to read murder mysteries. I like to cook. I love to sing. I'm very passionate about music.
Singer.
I would call myself a creative, so I like to apply as much art and creativity that I can to my business, which is great because you don't know how to drive Canva.
I don't even know how to open Canva. Tell them about your qualifications in the brokerage that we worked at.
So I got licensed in 2020, which was a really interesting time to get licensed, obviously. I actually was signed up to take my pre-licensing course, and I got an email to say that it was canceled thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. And then I got another follow-up email to say, just kidding, we're going to do it over Zoom now. So I was one of the first classes to take the course online, total Wild West, obviously. I got into practicing real estate the summer of 2020, and I started at a high volume real estate model where I was touching so many transactions quickly. They focused a great deal on training, so I'm very grateful for my roots having been put down there because it really built me out to be a great agent. I actually became the broker in charge of the office in Raleigh and then subsequently in Charlotte. I spent 8 months in Orlando, Florida, fixing up an office down there.
Don't sue us.
With a great team down there, and then became the director of sales of their Charlotte office. So I've practiced real estate. I've actually coached agents for a lot of time. I've closed 80 houses.
81. That's right. I was waiting for you to say 80. It's 81.
81. I've closed 81 houses, which is exciting. Primarily in North Carolina. Now I'm servicing South Carolina. I'm having a lot of fun with that. It's very different.
It's very different.
And then, so that's a little bit about my credentials. The reason that I think I'm a great agent is because sometimes I forget my own stats. I really do. I really rely on Rebecca, frankly, to be that person for me.
Wow.
I focus a great deal on making my clients feel really comfortable, upping the game in terms of communication. You know that my mantra in life is that nothing of value goes unsaid. So I try to bring that to my business. So
never leave empty-handed.
Never leave empty-handed. I can't wait for us to talk about that one.
Yeah.
I've got all these little quips and things.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows me knows I've got like a whiteboard full of them. But anyway, Rebecca, who the heck are you?
My name's Rebecca Bonillo. I am from New Jersey, and
Woo!
I've been in the Carolinas for 4 years now. It'll be 4 years officially, December 10th. I moved here not even in real estate, and just recently decided why I love what I do, which we'll get to that another day, and why I love real estate. But one day, I'm just a little crazy in this way, and thank God I have an amazing husband that supports my crazy and pushes me to be even crazier and achieve. But I woke up one morning and said I want to be a realtor. And if I want something, I go full force into it like a crazy person. And hopefully you guys get to know me a little bit through the screen and you can see that. So I went into school and I took my test a few times, and which don't let that negate you because I'm a bomb realtor, but school's not my thing. But I ended up working at the same high volume model brokerage, and the training was amazing. And I was lucky enough to be surrounded by some of the most influential and powerful leaders and women leaders, which was so awesome. I have chills special because it was always women. A lot of great men too. I'm not negating that, but just a lot of women, which felt really good. And those great men
supported those.
Hell yeah, they did. They really never made us feel anything else, but not to get away. Sorry, get excited. I was selling houses and slinging deals. I had no idea what was going on because I was just so focused. And one day I was approached by my mentor at the time, and she said, you would be an amazing associate director of sales, which was essentially like right below the director, the right-hand man, if you will, doing the operation things and training things and all the onboarding, coaching things. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So I had closed only 28 houses, and it felt like so many more.
28 houses.
I know, and I say that because I really thought it was like so many more. I thought it was so many more.
It felt like 60.
Yes. Now I'm at 60, but back then I was at 28, and I then...
I'm really sorry. That was probably really loud.
Nah.
Sorry.
It's cool. Isn't that what they do to sync mics and stuff? We only have one mic.
We're in the middle of a podcast, though. You know what I mean?
It's fine. Anyway. So became the associate director in the Charlotte, North Carolina office, and I did that for about 6, 7, 8 months, maybe 7 months. And I got a call from another wonderful mentor at the time of mine, who said, dude, step it up. Like, you need to go be a director. And I genuinely just didn't think I was ready for that. I'm so grateful for that push that I got, because there was a position open in Greenville, South Carolina. And I moved here with my husband, and we now have lived here for a year and a half. But I took that position. I loved it. And then I didn't. And I decided that my heart really was just no longer in the place of that, because of many reasons. You know, it just was a relationship. Not that my relationship changed. It's just things change in the market, and it just wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. Coaching them on those things wasn't what I was seeing was aligning with my business personally. So I made this scary jump and decided to leave my position and go work as an independent agent on our team, which is now Green Arc Properties. Shout out to Jordan for taking a chance on me. That's our team lead. And I have been doing that ever since. And I've had...
She's been kicking ass ever since. That's what brought me here.
Yes.
How loudly you were kicking ass.
Thank you. And I really try to be humble about that. It makes me a little uncomfortable. I almost just teared up. But yes, I've been having a phenomenal year. And Catherine was kind of just getting her feet wet in the Charlotte, North Carolina office as I left, because she became the director and broker in charge there. And I didn't want to be the person that was like, that place is terrible, leave.
It wasn't an option.
Which, I mean, it was your time to get that. It's a good job. It becomes it's very hard. And
You're
it's
not an agent. You're not an agent at all.
It's hard to sit there and not do the transaction, especially when you're a control freak and you're like, just let me in there, I'll do it. When you can't and you have to coach around it. So, watched you do that and bring your office to number one, just saying, and do your thing. And then eventually you were kind of feeling the pull that I did, where you were like, I need to be back out on the ground, but it's hard to go into it without support. And I think it just was like a perfect fit because we needed you. And thank goodness you're here, because now you're killing it. And we're just out here slinging houses, having a grand old time. And it's been awesome.
And, not a solicitation, what's the point of listening to Rebecca and I? The coolest thing is that even though Rebecca and I have been in this industry for 4 years and some change.
3 and some change for me, but yeah.
Yeah, it's that's not a lot of time relative to how long I plan to be in this business. So hopefully someday we're going to watch this pilot and cringe and cry and say,
we
look
probably
at
will
that
cringe.
Baby of a realtor.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. In fact, I really am hopeful that that's what's going to happen because the best part about our relationship is that it's ever changing.
Mm-hmm.
I've never known you outside of the context of your business, but you're my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
We worked together separately for so long that I think we're going to make a lot of shit happen in the next year, 2 years, 10 years, that it's going to be really cool to look back on.
Yeah.
Specifically when it comes to the knowledge that we're going to
Yeah.
accrue and the people that we're going to get to help and meet along the way. I know we've recorded this pilot 1,500 times.
I'm so tired of it. I'm so happy that this is the final pilot.
This is it. This is our introduction. I can't wait, like I said, to look back on it and cringe and be embarrassed, because I can tell you right now that if you had access to my notes app, you know that there's a lot of good content coming our way.
Yes.
A lot of really cool people that we're going to have chime in, just even outside of the two of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah. Something I do want to touch on a little bit, because the point that we've made at the beginning was our mission statement and all these things and why it's important to us. We are not going to sit here and tell you to wake up and eat yogurt and go to the gym and drink pre-workout and be your best self. Yes, I do believe in all those things in a certain extent.
Especially yogurt.
Yeah, especially the yogurt. I don't know why I said yogurt.
I really don't know.
It's high protein. I don't know. I was thinking yogurt. Like Greek yogurt? I don't know. That's not what we're gonna do. Right. Let's cut that. No, don't cut it. That's not what we're gonna do.
Should we re-record this?
Fuck no.
Just kidding.
I really thought you were serious for a second. I was like, fucking no.
No.
We don't want to do that. We're not here to tell you what to do. I mean, we might, not intentionally, just the way that we're going to speak, but we just want to showcase what we've seen. And we've seen it because of the volume that we were experiencing at this brokerage. So when I say volume, I mean the Charlotte office was doing 1,000 transactions a year. The Greenville, right?
Yeah.
About.
Yes.
I mean, maybe in the lower years, 800, 900.
Sure. It was 100 closings a month.
Yeah. The Greenville office was not. They were probably doing close to 350 or 400 a year, but they had just opened. So to be very clear, that's a lot of transactions for 1 year. And just overall, since she's been in Raleigh, Orlando, I've been in Charlotte, I've been in Greenville, we have seen thousands. We've overseen so many transactions, including the ones we've done on our own. And that means we've seen some shit. And I cannot express to the luxury line of homes all the way to homes that are maybe less desirable to some, but honestly just a lower price point. And that's okay. The point of that is we believe that the people, and I'm saying this because not everyone does this, at that price point of maybe 150K all the way to 2-3 million, right? They all deserve the exact same level of service and commitment because it's that important. It's the wrong thing to do to prioritize clients by price points. And we see it all the time. And we see so many things go wrong and so many errors and people that just frankly don't give a shit at all. And it brings me back to, it creates a terrible image for our industry, and we're just not about it. We actually can't stand it.
Yeah.
And I say this as kindly as I can. Do not come to this field if you want more time on your plate. If you are in a position and you're like, I want to work for myself, I want more time, real estate's not the place. You're not going to make any money, I promise you. If you are not willing to probably work 60 to 80 hours a week, especially in the beginning, you're not going to make it. And I say that because you want to save your time and money here. It costs money to start this business. So that's my little rant on that, if you will, because too many people come into this thinking that it's so easy and that these leads will just come to you. It doesn't. And then forget about just the leads. Getting into the weeds of the transaction and knowing your contracts and knowing the law is so important. I mean, we're not attorneys, but we follow documents that are drafted by them.
Yeah.
So it's in the same lane, and it's important.
And if you're a consumer or you're not licensed and you're thinking that doesn't apply to me, I completely respect that. I would volunteer a thought for you, which is that so many people our age, you're in your early 30s, I'm in my late 20s.
I am 30.
My bad.
I'm just saying, I'm not in my early 30s, I'm 30.
I'm so sorry. People our age don't have a realtor in their cell phone, you know, or if they do, they don't necessarily have a great relationship with them. They know them from a friend, and I just want to urge you that there's so much power in you also being a well-informed consumer so that you can identify not just a good or a bad realtor, because that really isn't a thing. What I mean is you can identify your needs and what you want specifically from an agent, because in theory it's your largest asset that we're talking about. So
most stressful thing you'll ever do.
Knowledge is power. I'm not asking you to be the expert, you know, we're the licensees, but I do want to urge you that even if you're not in a position right now where you're considering buying or selling, that you surround yourself with information, because the moment that you think you're ready is already too late to start talking to an agent.
It's so true.
And if you don't know what you're looking for, you could end up working with an agent who's completely fine. Most agents are completely meh and fine, but you could set yourself up in a way that you have a lot more information to ask for that extra mile. So I think there's something for you in this podcast as well. Yeah. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, we're doing really great on time. So the problem with Catherine and I is we start rambling and getting excited. And we've been only going for, what's 30 minus 12? 22.
Wow, yeah.
That's awesome.
30 minus 12 is not 22, it's 28.
I can do math.
Yeah.
We have professional measurers, so I don't have to really do much math. So we've been going for a little bit. But I think the most important thing that I want to get off of my chest right now is, well, question I have for you, and you're not going to like that I'm asking you this, but sorry. Why do you love your job? Why do you love real estate?
I love my job for a few reasons. Number one, because this is probably a story for another day, but when I got into real estate, I was not successful. I was unhappy. I was unfulfilled. And being in this career gave me purpose on a personal note. Number two, what I expected from being a realtor versus what I do every day is so different. And that humbles me because, like I said, consumers, you have no idea what it is to be an agent. You have no idea. I didn't. And number three, because I love puzzles. And I can't believe how, even though we've seen a lot of transactions, the rules change on the daily. The market changes on the daily. Yep. It's ever evolving. There's so much to do constantly. And obviously this is the tagline that everybody shares, but I love taking care of people. Yeah. Specifically, though, I really do like being the person who has the answers. So I love that in real estate. I really do. I love being helpful. So I love that when somebody's going through something hard or when somebody has a question, if I remain a student of this craft, I might have the answer for them. Yeah. Why do you love what you do?
I'm going to tell you, but first I need you to know that 30 minus 12 is not 28 either. It's 18 and we're so stupid.
I'm cutting that.
No, please don't. Please don't cut it. I love real estate because, and it's funny, I just figured this out the other day. Shocker. Because I went into it like a bull in a china shop. I love achieving and winning. And like, that's my thing. I love to compete and win. But with real estate, I'm like, okay, well, what do I love? I love, especially now that I work with a lot more buyers, which I love helping people achieve a life goal. The idea of helping someone do something as big as buying a first home, second home, whatever, investment property, or sell an investment property and home, all these things. It brings me so much joy. I like to be helpful as well, but my passion in it lies more in I like checking things off a to-do list. Yeah. And I love to take everything off of people's plates. And my tagline is always like, let it all go on top of me because I got you. Like, just go, because I just love it. And I love the feeling of being able to sit at the closing table with my client and they're like, I didn't have to worry about anything. Like, yes, this was stressful, but you took care of everything. There's nothing better than that to me. And it brings me so much joy and it's so much fun. I can't have a position where it's the same thing every day, which is probably another reason I got really sick of my job as a director, because I love that we're sitting here right now recording, then we have to go pick up Jordan because we're going to do something else. And then tonight, who knows, I could get a phone call and I'm over.
Might have a showing.
Who knows, right. So I love that. I love the unpredictability and it's so much fun. So
I love when you talk about real estate because it's so obvious that you love what you do.
Really?
Yeah, it's really inspiring.
It makes me emotional.
Oh, speaking of emotional, if it's okay, I'm going to wrap this up.
Yes, it's time.
If you're still watching this, I bet that you probably already know Rebecca and I, especially if you're watching this when we first release it. So thank you for watching. Even though this is not a solicitation, this is a free way to support Rebecca and I in our business. So I'm going to ask something of you after thanking you. I'm going to ask you, if you could ask a realtor one question, what would that question be?
Yes.
If you're already a realtor, I still am going to ask you the same question. If you could ask a realtor anything, what would that one question be? Because what we're not going to do is sit here and ramble all the time about what we want to talk about. We do want to engage with you guys. We want to know what it is that you're seeing and what it is you want to talk about. So keep us posted as well. Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you.
Or listening.
This is not a solicitation.
This is not a solicitation.
Bye.
All right.